The scenery outside reminds me of my pride, reminds me of my will. At the windowsill, I sit and see the grays, the children they all play and laugh amongst themselves. Somehow remind me of myself on the merry-go-round.
What is going on YouTube? It's Trev. As you can see, I'm kind of out and about, right? But you know, sometimes something happens or I get some information and I'm like, I better talk about this now before I forget, you know, everything that I wanted to say, because I'm kind of getting old and my brain doesn't really work the way it used to. I heard some things this morning that I want to talk to you about. I am sorry if this is becoming the doom and gloom network here at DJTMT. But what, you know, sometimes the information that I get isn't really all that positive, right? And you know, if I were concerned about you know, building this channel and you know, making this my living or whatever, I would only put the positive stuff on, because that's what really gets the views and gets the clicks and stuff. But I am interested in bringing as much information to the community as possible. I want you to make educated decisions with your money. I want you to be cautious. I want you to have some fear, some uncertainty, and some doubt when you are investing your money, because those things are going to cause you to do your due diligence and to be very, very careful. And if I can save one person from losing something by being stupid and YOLOing into something without thinking twice about it, then that's fine, right? So if we use FUD in the actual way that it's supposed to be used, it can actually be a really, really healthy thing. You should never invest your money foolishly or without some sort of knowledge as to what you're doing. So, all that said, this is not financial advice. You know, I have to say it. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm also not any kind of legal counsel or legal advisor. I have no professional, you know, no degrees in these things, right? But what I do have is a pretty good network. I like to network. I like to make, I like to have relationships with people. And I've always been the kind of guy who, if I want to learn something, and I'm learning crypto, I'm still fairly new to crypto. If I want to learn something, I want to learn it from the top guys. I want to learn it from the people who are actually making the moves. I feel like that's the best way to do it. And so I form relationships. And I've been lucky to form relationships with some people that are very, very high in this space, who work for or with some of the top players in this space. And honestly, you know, it's not that difficult. If you are a person with some sort of ethics and moral fiber, if you're trustworthy, if you don't betray confidences, and if you can demonstrate, I guess, to people that you really have a higher sense of what you're doing, you know, you're really trying to help people and not necessarily just trying to help yourself, it's easy to make those relationships. People want to talk to you. The curse of that is that sometimes I get information that I cannot pass on, because it would bring down a shitstorm on me, possibly legally, right? So anything that I say, not only in every video, but particularly in this video, anything that I say here going forward, take with a grain of salt. Understand that anything that I talk about is, at this point, hearsay, 100% hearsay. Even if I personally trust my sources, I don't expect you to. Matter of fact, you should not, right? You should always do your own due diligence. You should always be extremely careful with what you do with your money and how you invest, and the information that you get. You've got to weigh it accordingly, according to, you know, your perspective and your information and your knowledge, right? But when I find things out, I do want to try to get you some information, okay? I've said before that I have friends who have friends, right? Something I heard this morning, actually before I get to that, yesterday we talked about Do Kwon. We talked about the SEC and the charges that are being filed or have been filed against him. We talked about how South Korea, I believe it is, has a warrant out for his arrest. There is an Interpol, what do you call it, a red paper or a red sheet or whatever it is, right? So Interpol's looking for him. The guy's hiding out. We talked about some of the charges and exactly what he's being charged with, what the charges are. What I think that we should all be aware of is that this is not the only investigation going on. It may be the only investigation so far that has been announced, but it is not the only one that is going on, according to some information that I got, which again is at this point hearsay. I have not and cannot independently verify any of it. But if I didn't trust my sources, I wouldn't even bring it to you. But again, that's just me. It's hearsay, okay? I hear that there are other investigations going on, and you might be shocked to find out, some of the people who are actually being investigated. Some projects that we know and love. But here's the thing. I think that 2023, a lot of people are looking for it to be possibly the year of, that the bull run starts. We're looking at the Bitcoin halving. We're looking at a bunch of things that we're hoping are going to set off a little bit of a bull run and get us out of this really long bear market that we've been in, right? I still have my fingers crossed that that's going to be the case, but what I am seeing is that 2023 is probably going to be the year of the shitstorm, okay? Of a lot of investigations, of a lot of charges, the government making their case for why they should regulate to the extent that they want to regulate. Because, if they investigate, I got lines on my forehead from this thing. Anyway, if they investigate everybody, especially a lot of the top guys that we know and love and that we're invested in sometimes pretty heavily, if they investigate them and they can find a bunch of stuff that's happening all over the place, well, this just builds up their ability to say, look at how extensive the corruption is. You didn't even know about it. Well, we just found out, and we're bringing charges on this one, on this one, on this one, on this one. There's this problem going on, that problem going on. If they can do all of that, then they can sway even the community over to say, well, yeah, crap, I guess we need regulation, right? There are already people that say we need regulation. And to a degree, I agree that we need regulation. I just hope that they don't take the whole thing over. But it's what they're trying to do. They want to be able to tell us what cryptocurrencies are acceptable, which ones are good, and which ones are no good. And the ones that they determine are no good, they want to be able to stomp out of existence. So I see 2023, maybe into 2024, being a time where we have the herd thinned, okay? If you are a cryptocurrency project, and if you've been around for a while or whatever, and you have done anything at all that is not above board, that you haven't been transparent, maybe you've tucked away a little bit here, a little bit there, maybe you've done some things that are skating on ethical or even illegal, they're coming for you. They're coming for you. They're gonna find you. If you think that you're so smart that you were able to, you did it smart, right? Nobody's ever gonna track what you did. They're gonna track what you did. They've got the resources to find it, and when you've got the governments of the world looking into everything, they're gonna find every little thing that you did because they have to. They have to find it so that they can make their case, and they're looking for it. This is the information that I'm getting, right? They are looking for it. So if you're a new cryptocurrency project just starting out, I recommend highly that you stay above board, that you do everything right. It must be tempting when you've got millions and billions of dollars flowing through, and you know how to manipulate the blockchain, you know how to you know how to tuck things away in this wallet and that wallet without the people invested really knowing about it. It must be really tempting not to be like, just in case, right? Let me tuck a little away over here. Must be really tempting not to do that. But if you do that, you're going to get found out, and you're going to get screwed. Screwed. They are coming hunting, right? For me, I think what I'm going to do this year is I'm probably not going to make any big moves into cryptocurrencies as far as investments and stuff like that. I think that what I have, I'll let ride. I might add a little here or there with some particular projects that I feel are above board, and are doing everything right. I mean, there's probably no way for me to tell either, but I'll take my best guess. But I'm not going to make any big major moves, not until I hear something different, not until everything plays out that is in the works right now. And I recommend for everyone invested in cryptocurrencies right now to be very careful this year. That's not saying to run out and get rid of all your crypto. I am making no recommendations whatsoever to buy, sell, hold, trade. Nothing. I'm not telling you what to do at all. I'm just asking that you be careful. That instead of, maybe some of the YOLO things that you do, maybe you take your time a little bit. If you're playing with money that you can afford to lose, do whatever the hell you want. But if you're thinking about making some big moves into something, don't rush it. Take your time. Do as much research as you can possibly do, and then find a way to do a little bit more, okay? Be very careful about what it is that you're doing. Keep yourself safe. Keep your money safe. We are in for some tumultuous times this year, and maybe in the next few years coming, okay? So that's it. Is it positive? Is it negative? It's just being safe, okay? There are some things going on in the background that most of us are not aware of, and they're going to come to light, okay? I don't even know what the date is today, but mark the date and mark the time that you heard it from DJ Trev, because I am not above saying I told you so. And when all this stuff goes down, I'm going to point back to this video and I'm going to be like, see how long ago I warned you about this and you didn't listen? That's on you. All right, Joe. Talk to you later. Ciao.